Hey guys, this is going to be the first part in a 7-part skincare series that I'm going to do, and today I'm going to talk about cleansers. Now, first of all, to give you a little background on my skin, I've had problematic skin most of my life, pretty much since puberty. I suffer from hyperpigmentation, from broken capillaries, especially right here and on my chin and around the mouth area, cystic acne, all of it. Plus I have sensitive skin on top of it, so all that I suffered from, a large part of it is because I've committed a lot of skincare crimes too. I've tanned and boost. I've not worn sunscreen. I've picked at my skin. I've used overly abrasive products. I've done it all. But as I've grown older, I've done a ton of reading and I've really educated myself on skincare. My skin has drastically improved, and I really want to share a lot of that information with you because it's really a big passion of mine, and more so than makeup or anything else I'll ever talk about on this channel, skincare is something I'm going to always bring up. So to start you off, how do you pick a cleanser? Obviously there's 1,000,001 cleansers out there, from the high-end brands down to the cheapy brands. So what do you look for and what do you avoid? First thing you should look for is a liquid or gel cleanser. Avoid solids. The very ingredient that makes bar soap stay in a bar is not good for your skin. So just avoid that altogether. Next, you want to, in my opinion, avoid active ingredients in cleansers. Things like salicylic acid, glycolic acid, benzoyl peroxide. And I know that kind of goes against conventional knowledge about skincare. And the reason I say avoid those ingredients is because you're basically rinsing your money down the drain. Those ingredients need to linger and sit on the skin to work. Rinsing them off of your face, which is what you do with a cleanser, totally diminishes or gets rid of the effect of those ingredients altogether. Plus, a lot of times, if you are using those kind of exfoliants or, skin treatment things in other steps in your skincare regimen, don't apply them with another ingredient in your skincare. The cumulative effect of that is going to be too strong on your skin. Also, you can avoid those. If they're in your cleanser, you have a cleanser you like and it's got like salicylic acid or something in it. I'm not saying run to the bathroom and throw it out. I just think it's ineffective, so don't waste your money. However, some ingredients that you should run to the bathroom and throw out your cleanser over are things like fragrance, alcohol, menthol, spearmint, and peppermint, and all the mint sort of things, among other things, and I'll include a more thorough list of ingredients you should avoid in the down bar below, or a link to it at least down below. And you should avoid those because even if you think, oh, I love that tingly sensation it has on my face, or maybe you don't feel anything altogether, the damage to your skin is cumulative. The reason women who are older, who, for example, tan when they were younger, look terrible when they're, 50, 60, 70 years old, is because the damage to your skin is cumulative, meaning that a little bit every day leads to a lot later in life. Same goes with poor ingredients in your skincare. If you use a cleanser that has, say, peppermint in it, or menthol, or any of those kind of ingredients, and you like that kind of tingly sensation, it wakes you up in the morning, it's a orange wake me up, type cleanser, and it wakes me up in the morning. Essentially what you're doing is you're damaging your skin, because that little tingly feeling is you inciting your immune system and your body's natural defenses against what your body perceives as a threat, essentially, or an injury, I should say. Same goes for scrubs. That scrubby feeling, cumulative effect over time. You may think, oh, I like that clean sensation after I use the scrub, but essentially you're putting minor cuts in your skin over time, and then over time it diminishes your skin's ability to regenerate, and you see less elasticity in your skin, you see more hyperpigmentation, you see all of that. All of that has a cumulative effect in your skin. And when you use scrubs or overly harsh ingredients or ingredients that tingle, like I said, you're inciting your body's defense. the purpose of a cleanser is supposed to remove the debris, the pollution, the makeup, to remove things from your skin, to remove that excess oil. It's not to sort of, bring blood flow to your skin or anything like that. These are not good things. You essentially want to remove those items without upsetting your immune system. And when I say upset, I mean flushing, zits, redness, all of that. That's your body's reaction saying something is happening on the top of my skin and I don't like it. Let's send, white blood cells or red blood cells or whatever, to help the skin out because something dangerous is happening on the other side. But it happens in tiny little increments, so you don't think about it until one day you wake up, you're 50, and you're like, oh, my skin looks terrible. And I'll tell you, I know that feeling because I'm about to turn 30. I'm about to go in that next decade of my life, and my skin doesn't bounce back like it used to. When I break out, the hyperpigmentation lasts longer, zits last longer, and it's all because I have been poor with my skin. So you naturally, when you get older, your skin's ability to heal is diminished just from natural aging. But more importantly, from sun damage or from the fact that you apply 5 million exfoliants every day, all that kind of stuff, it's not good for your skin. So if the first step with your cleanser should be the gentlest. It's the one that you expose your skin to the most often. Obviously, people cleanse their skin 2-3 times a day. Make it gentle, avoid those ingredients, avoid the solid bar, all of that. Also, if you're going to cleanse, please do it approximately 12 hours apart. You want about an even distribution of your cleansing every day. For those of you who go to the gym and cleanse afterwards, knock it off. There's no reason, unless you go to the gym in the morning, you go to the gym in the evening, and it coincides with your AM cleansing or your PM cleansing, incorporating a third cleansing, not good for your skin. Just rinse it with a little water and pat dry, and that may make your skin crawl thinking, oh, but I want to cleanse, I feel icky. But trust me, in the long run, your skin will look much better and your skin will thank you for it. You don't need to cleanse 3 times a day. Essentially, by cleansing too often, you're stripping your skin. Even those of us who have really oily skin, I have incredibly oily skin. By stripping those natural oils, by cleansing too often or too close together, say you wash your face and then 6 hours later you wash your face, you're removing that protective barrier. This oil, while it may make your skin crawl and go, ooh, that's icky, it's good for your skin. A little bit is good for your skin. It's a natural defense that your skin has. Don't get rid of it altogether. A little bit is okay. Obviously, we don't want an excess of it because once you get an excess of oil, it starts pollution and makeup and everything clings to that oil on your skin, and that's really more the reason we have to remove it. It's not because the oil itself is bad for your skin. It's because it's all the gook that gets stuck in it, and also having just too much of something is not good either on your skin. And then last thing I kind of want to talk about is skincare brushes, buff puffs, all that kind of those skincare tools. I do personally use a Clarisonic. I'm a little iffy about recommending skincare brushes because I feel like there's a whole movement out there of Clarisonic sucks or the skincare brushes suck. I just use a washcloth. Everything in moderation. I think a lot of times what happens when people get Clarisonic or any skincare brush is they're so happy with the results at first that they get overzealous. They use it twice a day, they use it for the full 2 minutes, and so on and so forth. And they forget to clean their brush head, which I'll get into in a moment. But everything in moderation. Even Clarisonic itself says only cleanse with it like 2 to 3 times a week, that you don't need it every day. I do admittedly use it every day, but I don't use it for the full 2 minutes most of the time. In the little demo that I'm going to include at the end of this video, I do use it actually for the first 2 minutes, but I think it's because I was distracted and that, I'm talking to the camera. But most of the time, I do not use it for the full 2 minutes. And if my skin is feeling any kind of irritated or I'm experiencing a really bad breakout, I skip it altogether. There is an element of manual exfoliation, and again, if you're applying any kind of chemical exfoliant in your skincare regimen, like later you apply, spot treatment or benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid gel or anything like that, you are doing exfoliation on top of exfoliation, and that's bad. Once is enough. The only reason I use the Clarisonic in addition to my chemical exfoliant is because I need a little aiding in that makeup removal, because I use some really stubborn makeup, which is good because it's long lasting, but then that makes it difficult to remove at the same time. So I just use it a little bit at night. I don't use it during the day. I skip it when my skin's really irritated, but I still love it because it does help with some of the other skin issues that I have, and I think it removes my makeup a lot better than makeup cloths or just cleansing by itself. So if there was anything else I would bring up, last thing I should probably mention is sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLS, and whether to include it in your skincare. I know that there's a huge no SLS movement. I've kind of dabbled in it with my skincare and my hair care, and my final thoughts on it are, it can be a necessary evil for those of us who have oily skin, but if you have normal to dry skin, avoid it altogether. You don't need it. If you have oily skin, I say use it, but maybe use it only, say, during the evening when you need a little helper in, removing your makeup, because again, makeup can be really stubborn, and sometimes not all cleansers, even the best ones, can get it all off. So I do use something that has a foaming effect, but you want to minimize the detergents, the foaming ingredients, all that kind of stuff in your skincare, because again, it can act as a mild irritant, but sometimes, there are necessary evils in skincare. So play with it how you like. I think it's only necessary for people who have oily skin, and I'm always nervous about recommending like an ingredient that I know can be kind of bad for your skin, because there are people who just don't know about moderation, and they go, oh, I'm going to avoid it, or oh yeah, I'll totally try it, and then they put it in both their cleansers and they use it 3 times a day, and then they're like, oh, my skin hates it, what's going on? So again, play with it a little bit, see how your skin reacts. I try to use it only at night, and sometimes only every other night, depending on how my skin's behaving. But I do think that just an addition of kind of a foaming cleanser at least 3 times a week really helps my skin out. So again, it is, when playing with the cocktail of whatever's in your skincare, whatever works best for you. But I do firmly believe in a lot of what I've just talked about. So if you have any questions or comments, definitely ask below. I'm going to go ahead and include a demo of what I do for my skincare at night, so you can get an idea of how I approach it, and also how I remove my makeup. Because I don't use makeup cloths, I just use a little jojoba oil to help break that up and then take it off. Because again, I don't like extra exfoliation, so I don't use cloths, and I don't do anything that involves kind of rubbing my face, because exfoliation on top of exfoliation on top of exfoliation, bad. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, comments, questions below, and I hope to see you next episode when I talk about toners. Thanks, you guys. Bye. So in here, I've got probably about 9 hours worth of wear out of my makeup today, and it's time to go ahead and take it off. So I usually start with my jojoba oil, and just obviously I'm starting with removing the makeup. I really am not a big fan of just cleansing the makeup off. I like to remove the makeup before I actually cleanse my face. So I'm going to pour a little bit of, or actually a relatively generous amount. You see it's drippy, so gotta work quickly. And actually, yeah, put a little bit more on my hand. And I apologize about the sound of the fan, and if you hear any little meows in the background. So I just kind of massage that into my face, break down any of the makeup. Sometimes I'll use a little bit more if I wore a liquid foundation, Just because liquid foundation is, I think, the hardest to cleanse off. But I just wore powder today. So I just let that sit for a second. And again, the jojoba oil, it's non-comedogenic. Is that how you pronounce it? So it's not going to clog your pores, and it's actually one of the best oils to use on your face, as good as argan oil, in terms of not irritating your skin, but still effectively getting all your makeup off. So next, I take just a little bit of eye makeup remover. I'm just using some generic CVS kind today. I don't like to spend a lot of money on eye makeup remover. And I just kind of, wipe the shadow off. Maybe a little bit of the brows. And then sometimes I'll just kind of let it sit on my lashes for just a second. Sometimes I kind of wipe up on the lashes. Do the other side. And wipe up on the lashes. Another good trick I have, sometimes if my mascara is really stubborn, I'll take a little bit of the jojoba oil and I'll just put on my fingers and I'll just kind of rub my lashes just between my fingers really gently to help kind of loosen up that stubborn mascara. And you'll feel it kind of start to dissolve a little bit between your fingers. Coming off, and sometimes let's wipe a little bit, although usually after I cleanse I go back. Okay, next I'm going to use my Neutrogena Ultra Gentle Daily Cleanser. I like to kind of leave the foaming cleanser at night just to help get rid of that oil and all that makeup off. If I use the cleansers with sulfates in it too often, I tend to get a little bit of irritation, especially right here and like on my chin and such. So, and I'm going to use my Clarisonic, but I always like to apply the cleanser straight to my face, kind of like how when you wouldn't just apply your foundation straight to your brush or to your sponge and then dab it around. I mean, some people do that, but if you kind of dab it in the areas first and then take your sponge and blend it, you get better coverage. I use the same technique with cleanser. I feel like if you apply it to your face, kind of foaming up, and then go with the Clarisonic, you get better distribution of your cleanser. So I'm just going to get a little bit of warm water on my face. A little bit on my eyes. And sometimes I like to kind of take it where I put bronzer, usually right here. And if I get lazy, I don't usually tend to break out, even if I forget to kind of clean here for a while. But sometimes I get like little breakouts, just tiny ones. So I always try to make sure to get that. Because again, if you apply makeup there, you should cleanse there. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my Clarisonic. I should get the brush head just a little bit wet. Have at it. I don't go by the little beeps on it. I think it should be more where you think your skin needs it. I mean, you don't want to linger too long in your problematic areas, because being too rough on it, exfoliating too much, is going to only further irritate your skin. So, you don't want to press too hard. Just enough to kind of help loosen up that makeup before we rinse and get a little bit of exfoliation, but not a lot. Especially because we're going to be using chemical exfoliants on our skin. So the manual exfoliation is really more to help get the makeup off. Now I usually bring it up a little bit under my eyes, just kind of get all that makeup right there. And then, you see how icky it gets? Kind of dingy. I'll go through and I'll kind of rinse my brush head. And then Go back over again. And I like to go over my eyebrows. I get breakouts there too, since I do fill in my eyebrows. I notice that if I don't kind of cleanse the eyebrow area and take my Clarisonic and go over it, I start to get little breakouts like right here, or sometimes right above. Okay. And I'm going to rinse. Make sure you don't leave any cleanser right here. And then just pat, don't rub, pat your face dry. Now, if you're like me, and you're not super diligent about getting your eye makeup off, sometimes you'll have residual eye makeup there. So usually what I do is I just take a little handheld mirror, a little magnified mirror. I love this thing. It's by Conair. I've dropped it 5 million times, never breaks. So I'll usually take a cotton swab, take my eye makeup remover, and just get the one end wet, and then I go in and I just kind of clean up. A little bit up top. And then I always go back with the dry end and I kind of clean up any extra makeup remover that's there. I don't want that lingering on my skin. And that's how I do it. That's how I cleanse my face.